As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more. Let's talk about DrLupo, guys. DrLupo in the news. Two news stories, in fact, here, which I will introduce back to back. So the first one, DrLupo leaves Twitch to exclusively stream on YouTube. The move will give Lupo more time to spend with family and the opportunity to try new things.
Wait, what? Does it actually say?
And then, yeah, and then the emptiest suit in all of gaming and esports, Ryan Wyatt, announced, "We're building the best gaming platform in the world for creators, publishers, and gamers. Our work isn't done yet, and in many ways, it's just starting. Today, we take another step in that direction by announcing that TimTheTatman is exclusively streaming on YouTube Gaming." So they've signed exclusivities. No.
The TimTheTatman video was entertaining. I enjoyed it.
Okay. So two exclusivity announcements. How do you guys feel about this? Are we super excited for YouTube Gaming?
Oh, me. Hot take. Literally not going to do anything. No, I'm just quite serious, because I look at history and I looked at, we saw this before with Mixer, a bunch of major stars, including arguably the biggest star, Ninja, right, went exclusive on Mixer. And what happened? Literally, it moved the needle so little for Mixer that it was shut down in the middle of their exclusivity contracts. They didn't even give them time to finish. As great as these announcements are, and as exciting as it to see YouTube being more serious about streaming as a platform, I don't think this moves the needle at all. I just think we've seen time and again that the mechanism for disrupting Twitch is not talent extraction. It's something else, right? Because it appears that the platform on that talent is relatively fungible, or at least resistant to pulling 1 to 2 people out. And I would be stunned if this brings significant new eyeballs to YouTube. I'd be stunned.
But is that what they're trying to do? I love that. I love the take, but is that what they're trying to do? Are they trying to bring new eyeballs to YouTube, or are they trying to stop the loss of eyeballs to competitors like Facebook and Twitch? Sorry, I love Arrested Development, so go ahead and read it.
I mean, this meme is just too good in these situations, but so it's funny. I thought about what I was going to say to this story, and as you guys probably know, I do love to play devil's advocate, but this actually was going to be my take even before I heard William's take. I think there's a difference here, and the difference, and I know that we like to hate on YouTube Gaming here, and that's what we do, and the reason why I think there could be a difference here, where this time could be different, is because YouTube has an audience, right? People are going to YouTube to watch gaming. They're just not going to YouTube to watch live streaming. If what Mixer had was nothing, right? Mixer was an entity that nobody had heard of, that you had to draw people away from Twitch. YouTube, you just have to keep people there and train them to look at it for live streaming. I'm not saying it's going to work, but there's a chance that it could go down differently than Mixer. And I'm not surprised that they're trying this. It will be interesting this isn't going to kill Twitch. Obviously, let's not be hyperbolic or ridiculous, but I think this will be a better strategy than what Mixer, this will work better
let me
YouTube
ask,
than it did for Mixer.
Okay, but I want to push back on Jeff. Hold on. Jeff, doesn't that argument literally contradict itself? Because the point you would make is, okay, bringing these content creators will bring eyeballs. Your point is YouTube already has eyeballs. Okay, so how is more eyeballs
a shorter Well, because the way advertising works is you sell on a duration of time, right? So it's like keep
okay,
the eyeballs for longer. Like would Netflix, Netflix is a bad example. Would you rather someone play your game or watch it for an hour a day or 5 hours a day, William? The answer is 5.
Take my point here. I'm being a bit facetious, right? But like, take my point here, which is I see a more direct impact on the Mixer platform, which is they just need viewers. These people will bring viewers. They need awareness. These people will bring awareness, right? You're aware of YouTube, right? And you're already consuming YouTube. I would guess most of the audience is consuming on a daily basis.
But that's why it would work, because you're already using it.
Hold on.
Now they're using it for a different
let Paul get it. Let Paul get in.
I see where the gap is here. I think there's a subtlety that I'm hoping everyone can agree on here, which is streaming on YouTube and VOD on YouTube are really two different products, and they're almost like two different platforms. And so while gaming VODs on YouTube have a huge audience, streaming on YouTube does not, and has lagged Twitch considerably. And you see a guy like Dr. Disrespect who moved from Twitch to YouTube, and we know he's making a quarter of what he was making before on Twitch, right? Because the audience is smaller on YouTube, the streaming audience is smaller on YouTube, and because the monetization on YouTube is worse. So, like, I think we have to treat YouTube gaming streaming and YouTube gaming VOD as almost like two different platforms, because they are really, I think, in many ways.
So I'm curious though, if the revenue, right, the ad revenue from these two different platforms are also that different. I mean, obviously they
massively different,
right? So they have the same access to the same advertising partners, don't they? It's just a matter of signing one up for this platform or the other, or do you think that they're also run independently of one another? Because my question here is, are we just moving ad revenue from one pocket to the other pocket and doing nothing to really expand the business? And it's an expensive marketing effort.
Here's the problem, right? YouTube fundamentally, their VOD product is fundamentally flawed, right? It's a horrible piece of technology that should never be as big as it is today, but they were first, really, in a lot of ways. And the advertising there is borderline, it's not misleading, but like, when's the last time you clicked on an ad on YouTube? Probably never, right? And so to me, that whole business relied on it being first, right? And gain scale because it was first. And it will always have scale now, and it will always be relevant now because of that. Their streaming product was not first, doesn't have that level of scale. And so what has happened is you have a guy like Ryan Wyatt who has no clue what he's doing, right? Like, went from playing like local COD tournaments to running YouTube gaming, and has zero clue about business. And basically they said, well, give us a streaming product. So what does he do? He looks at Twitch, the leader, and all YouTube gaming has done, if you look at their track record, is copy feature for feature Twitch, literally over the last 5 years. Literally. No innovation, zero. Twitch comes out with a feature, clips. 2 years later, YouTube does clips. Twitch comes out with a feature, subscription. 2 years later, right? Like, it's literally feature for feature, just knocked off. And I think what YouTube has sort of conceded is they don't know how to do live streaming. Really, all they know how to do is knock off Twitch. It hasn't been working that well. And so let's knock off Mixer. Let's try and, buy our way into success here, because they can't innovate into a bigger audience. They haven't figured out what is the trick to make YouTube streaming a dominant force in the industry, which I think is a shame, because given the success of VOD on YouTube, it should be relatively easy. And I've always been critical of YouTube because it should be relatively easy.
So if you were running YouTube, what would you do then? How would you have all these people watching VOD, you want to bring them over to live streaming. What I would definitely not do is sign Lupo and TimTheTatman, and I'll tell you why, right? Those guys, to both of your points, already post tons of content on YouTube, and those VODs monetize very well for those creators and for YouTube, right? Why would you pay them dollars other than for the appearance sake that you're doing something to fight Twitch? Why pay them dollars when you already have their content? Their entire live streams are posted on YouTube,
right? Their clips are posted on YouTube. You're monetizing those stars. Why pay them a cent other than a pure PR move to make Ryan Wyatt look good to his boss like he's doing something to fight Twitch?
But I just don't understand I don't understand the notion of why it wouldn't be a great thing to do to say people are watching this on YouTube. Now this person streams exclusively here. You're watching his live stream hours later. He's going to live stream in 10 minutes. Click on the link and watch the live stream live. Why? I don't understand why that wouldn't be like a good cross sell. It's so much easier to cross sell.
Jeff, I'll tell you why. Do you, when you take your wife out for a nice date night, do you take her to McDonald's?
Depends. I'll follow the no, I guess.
No. Right?
I'm not sure where we're going with this.
The world has come to see Twitch as the dominant streaming platform for gaming, right? So anyone with a legitimate, who makes a legitimate decision to want to stream content, gaming content, typically will choose to go to Twitch. That they own that mind share, right? Game streaming happens on Twitch. They're the leader. They have that mind share. YouTube just doesn't have that same level of mind share. You don't associate YouTube with streaming of gaming. And so
what should Ryan Wyatt do? Like nothing? Like, is it just, hey, let's every company give up? Like Twitch is the only.
No, but you definitely, A, don't do things that we know don't work, right? And B, you definitely don't just copy feature for feature your major competitor. You have to put something out that Twitch does not have. What is that thing? What is YouTube doing?
I do agree with that. I mean, obviously, if they had a better user experience or some sort of unique technology, like product that was different, that would bring users across. But I think that my whole point of playing devil's advocate was just to say that it is a lot easier, I think, to keep someone on your platform and cross sell them than it is to bring them completely in. If the argument that you made that people are already watching TimTheTatman and DrLupo on YouTube is exactly why I'm more bullish, because I think it's very easy if someone's watching it there to keep them there to watch it live. If we're assuming that so let me actually take a step back. Is it correct to assume that the people who are watching TimTheTatman and DrLupo highlights on YouTube are also watching them on Twitch? Because if it's two different people, if there are two different people in the world, there are people who watch live stream and people who watch VOD, then my argument doesn't hold as much water. But if there are eyeballs that are following them to Twitch after watching them on YouTube, I think they can maybe keep some of them on YouTube, and that's the bet they're making.
Maybe. You're assuming their platform allows for that kind of discovery, for example.
Well, if their platform just sucks, then yeah, they're fucked.
But it does. It's a cheap Twitch knockoff, right? But that's my point. The problem's not going and signing, giving millions of dollars to, like, here's the tough question for all of you. Who wants to bet in 5 years either Lupo or TimTheTatman are back on Twitch? Anyone want to take that bet?
Well, I think I want to take the same
for
side as
money?
You're on.
I don't want to take the bet.
Guaranteed. I will say right now, guaranteed one or both are back on Twitch in the next 5 years. This is a cash grab for them. YouTube gaming is the current. They're the current. They're the current patsies of the gaming industry, right? Like, easy to take advantage of them. They're not that bright, and
Look,
5 years is a long time. If you gave me odds as to like they won't renew their contract,
I don't agree with this characterization of YouTube gaming. By the way, I don't want to go into that, but like I think that's an unfair, an unfairly harsh criticism. But the point I think we can all agree on is we're not going to read a headline tomorrow, which is Amazon sells Twitch for, $300. The platform has no future now that, TimTheTatman has been poached by YouTube, right? Like the point is, however, whether this is somewhat significant, very significant, or insignificant, I think we can all agree that this by itself doesn't spell doomsday for Twitch, right? We all agree to that, right?
No, nothing's going to spell doomsday for Twitch.
Yeah, but they're the leader.
Yeah, but can this be an effective marketing campaign?
The top 25 Twitch streamers could get signed by YouTube tomorrow, and YouTube would still lag behind Twitch in terms of streaming. Like, who they sign makes no difference. We've learned it's the platform that matters. It's not the star.
one other thing I would bring up is we keep talking about there's two outcomes here, like Twitch dies and YouTube becomes the king, or this was stupid. Like these can be good marketing contracts that like have a, return on investment that is more than what they're paying them. And YouTube might not take over the world of live streaming. Like this can help them be a stronger number 2 player and accrue some eyeballs and make more ad dollars than they're giving out in exclusives.
And
that's what we should be evaluating here.
Fair to say that if we've learned anything from not live streaming, but the traditional streaming market, it's that there is now clearly scope for an abundance of providers, right? It used to be 10 years ago, it was Netflix. That's it, right? Now I think everyone watching this podcast, I would be surprised if you didn't subscribe to 3 different streaming services. I'd be stunned if you didn't have 3 different services you're subscribed to regularly. So it is fair to say that the landscape could fragment, right? Or should fragment based on how other streaming services have evolved in similar media landscape.
This will go down. These are optics plays. This is YouTube signing big name talent again, so that the higher ups at Google and YouTube go, we're doing something, right? We're trying something. This makes sense, right? We're competing. We're taking it to Twitch. Now, it's the totally wrong thing to be doing, but I get why they're doing it. They're out of ideas, right? They're out of features to copy. And so what do you do now? You try and steal talent. It will prove to be only good for TimTheTatman and DrLupo. Like, great on those guys for extracting dollars. If I'm on Twitch today, I would be talking to YouTube about getting a big paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised XQC and all these guys are not having the same conversations if YouTube is handing out dollars. And in 2 years, when I'm making a quarter of what I was making on Twitch, I just go back. And I think you're going to see a lot of this back and forth over the next few years, because they're going to go to whoever's handing out dollars, and the people handing out dollars I think in the end will realize these were bad deals. Like, I don't think YouTube, I don't know what they're paying TimTheTatman. I don't know what they're paying DrLupo. None of it was made public, but
wasn't there some wording that they were set for life after this?
Well,
or
I was going to say, I don't love in the press release how Lupo said he's going to be able to spend more time with his family. Like, if I were YouTube Gaming, I'd be like, well, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, this isn't a retirement package. Like, what is going on here?
Well, I mean, that's the executives at YouTube Gaming are basically on retirement mode, right? They spend more time playing golf than building their business. Christian says YouTube has to augment the streaming experience to a whole new level. Like Paul said, innovation. I agree. I can tell you I'm way more.
You agree with that?
I do. Taylor says, I can tell you I'm way more engaged with the Twitch stream than I am a YouTube stream. And I think Twitch develops an actual community where YouTube falls short in doing so. That I think is really interesting insight, because that's my personal experience also. I could never really put my finger on why. But I'm curious if you guys have thoughts on that or have a similar experience. Yes, no, maybe.
I don't have a lot of experience with YouTube streaming. I personally, what I do is I follow my favorite creators across various socials, and I'll watch the 2-minute clip of like something cool that they reposted to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube proper, not YouTube, streaming. So I think I'm the wrong audience for this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's more engaging to me. I have that's how I prefer to receive the content, I suppose. Maybe it's my time. I don't have the time for it.
You guys, the defenders of YouTube here. You remember the Stadia announcement when they had like Ryan and the YouTube executives gaming executives come on the stage during the Stadia? Do you remember what they plugged? Right, this idea that you could have your viewers jump in mid-game and play with you and join you, and like, where is all that functionality? Where is all that BS
nobody has Stadia, so it's not possible to have people who don't exist use a product that doesn't exist.
No, but yeah. It's like, again, it's sort of, it's not because they lack the stars, right? It's because they haven't delivered on anything that they said they were going to do, or on anything innovative, or on anything different from Twitch. I don't think anyone can point to one feature that YouTube gaming has that Twitch does not? Not one. What's like one reason why you would stream there instead of on Twitch? Christian says, if YouTube can build a platform that drawing talent to move to the platform for augmented experience and monetization opportunities, that is a stronger strategy. I see competition with game platforms. I mean, augmented experience and better monetization, those are where I think those are the places where YouTube could beat Twitch. Yeah, like I think no question. YouTube should be the dominant streaming platform. It should not be Twitch. It should be YouTube because of their utter dominance and monopoly in VOD. Like the fact that they're not is mind-boggling.
So shouldn't you be more bullish about this move then? This is my exact
no,
point.
Because you need to change the management who are not running. Like it's like saying you have the perfect business and the perfect opportunity to dominate a space, but you haven't been for the last 2 years. Well, why?
They weren't doing the right marketing strategy.
Well, someone was not doing the right things, was not making the right moves.
Now they are. Now they're earning their paycheck.
Yeah, that's it. Optics
Brian
Place.
Wyatt, call me. I'll come work for YouTube Gaming.
Robert says world class. There you go.